welcome all of you on behalf of CII for this webinar on latest trends in environmental sustainability, a GreenCo perspective. My name is Muthu. I am going to be the speaker of this session. I'm working as a senior counselor at the Green Business Center, Hyderabad of CII, mainly working on promoting the Mission on Sustainable Growth initiatives from CII Green Business Center. As part of this Mission on Sustainable Growth initiative, one of the latest recent initiatives is the GreenCo rating system for companies. So I'm also involved in promoting this GreenCo rating program among various industries. So today in this session we are going to discuss about what are the latest trends happening with respect to environmental sustainability in industry. So I'll start with some background information about what are the various initiatives or the importance behind industry to start working towards environmental sustainability. And then I'll talk about the Green Company Rating Program. What are the methodology and then approach, and few case studies and the benefits of companies going for GreenCo rating program. At the end we'll have a question and answer session. So overall this presentation will be for about 40 to 45 minutes, and then we have 10 to 15 minutes of time for question and answer session. So with this I'll start my presentation. So this webinar is being launched through the Green Business Center of CII. Green Business Center is one of the centers of excellence of CII. So this center is working on various green initiatives like promoting energy efficiency in Indian industry, other environmental initiatives, and promotion of green buildings through the Indian Green Building Council. And also we have services on renewable energy and other climate change related activities, and greenhouse gas inventory and carbon footprint for industries. So these are the various initiatives being promoted through this center. And as I said earlier, one of the recent initiatives is the Green Company Rating Program. So let me start my presentation with the background on the environmental sustainability, why it is important, how it is important for various businesses. The measure of ecological footprint is one of the important parameters which we need to understand. So for measuring the energy efficiency parameter, generally we measure in terms of unit consumption per ton of product or per unit of per number of product. So that is only with respect to energy consumption. Similarly, we have water specific water consumption and specific waste generation. So these are all different parameters for measuring individual environmental parameters. But if you want to see holistically the ecological footprint in a holistic way, then the indicator is the ecological footprint. And this is being done by an organization called Global Footprint Network from US. They have a system of measuring the ecological footprint on the basis of productive land required in terms of hectares of land per person per annum. So it's called the ecological footprint. So how much is the productive land required per person per year? It can be estimated for a country or a continent or even for an organization. So this is the basic definition of ecological footprint. The measure of how much land and water is needed to produce the resources, and also how much is the resource required in terms of regenerating the waste which is disposed through our various operations. So this is the broad explanation of ecological footprint. So it is always measured in terms of hectares of land per person per annum. So in the next slide you can see how the ecological footprint over the years for the entire globe. So this is being done by Global Footprint Network from US. So it's a measure of human demand on the Earth's ecosystem. Like the average per capita land record in terms of ecological footprint is about, it's varying from 2.5 hectares per person per year to as high as 3 hectares per person per year. So that is the actual footprint of the entire globe. If you see the green line is the biocapacity. See, what is the overall capacity of the Earth in terms of meeting the requirement of human demand, and also the resources required to regenerate the waste or the emissions which is happening in the atmosphere. So you can clearly see the difference between the biocapacity and the ecological footprint, and there's a huge gap between these two. That means the Earth, whatever today we are living in, the overall the demand is much more than the capacity of the Earth. So that is the major message we can get from this particular slide. So to indicate the actual requirement of resources with respect to the Earth's capacity. So the other way of representing is the global ecological footprint based on the Earth overshoot day. See, again, say the same organization called Global Footprint Network is working on estimating what is the Earth overshoot day. That means overall in a year, what is the consumption of resources by the entire humanity, covering the entire globe, and how much is the actual resource which is available in the Earth. So if we compare, in 1987, the Earth overshoot day was on 19th of December. That means only a few days left with respect to the actual consumption of resources and the capacity of the Earth to deliver those requirements of the humanity. But because of the increased population, because of the increased demand on the resources, because of the increased pollutions in the atmosphere and the waste generated both in the water, air, and solid waste. So the Earth overshoot day has advanced. In 1995 it was 21st of November, but last year in 2013 it was 20th August. That means we have only resources, the Earth's capacity is only 8 months of the overall demand of the humanity at a global level. So this is not a sustainable model because we are overeating the resources. So if we continue to do so, then the Earth overshoot day will be, much advanced, and then we'll have major issues with respect to the availability of resources. So this is the key important point from this slide, where if we continue to grow and we continue to consume the resources as we do today, then we need 3 Earths by 2050. So to make it a single Earth, then we have to do some drastic measures in terms of optimizing the resources and improving the efficiency of our own operations, covering all aspects. This is another interesting slide, the ecological footprint report, which is done by Global Footprint Network as the data. See, what are the different countries, how the actual ecological footprint compared to their biocapacity. The countries which are in green color, the biocapacity is more than the footprint. That means they have more resources compared to the resources which they consume on an annual basis. But whereas the countries are which are in red color, which includes India, China, Middle East, European countries, and then US. So these are the countries, the actual footprint is more than the biocapacity. That means the resources what we consume in a year is much more than the actual capacity of the Earth or the resources which is available within the boundary of those countries. So in India, because of the huge population and then to meet the resources, when you compare the actual biocapacity, we have a huge gap. So it's very important for India to pursue the sustainability in a big way for our own survival, because our footprint is much more than the biocapacity of the earth. So the next slide clearly indicates what is the difference between the actual biocapacity and the footprint. Footprint is in blue color, light blue color. For India, the actual global, actual footprint in terms of ecological footprint number, it is somewhere about 0.75 hectares per person per year. So, which is much lower compared to the global average of close to about 2.8 global hectares per person per year. That is because of huge population we have. So, in terms of per capita, when we calculate our ecological footprint is much lower. But the biggest worry is our biocapacity is much lower compared to our footprint. But again, another worry is it is increasing. The difference between the biocapacity and the ecological footprint is widening. So that means we have already become an ecological debtor where our biocapacity is much lower compared to our footprint. So again, this information is available up to 2003, but if you take 2012 or 2013 data, so the actual difference between the footprint and the biocapacity is much more. And another important area with respect to the environmental aspect is the availability of water. Water is another major area which is faced by most of the developed countries, including India. And we have the information from International Water Management Institute. They have mapped different countries based on the availability of water. So whichever country is in light blue color, there are no water scarcity. For example, North America, Europe, or South America, these are the countries where water is not an issue. But whereas if you see countries which are in red color, they're going to have physical water scarcity. And of course, the countries which are in blue color are economic water scarcity. So the difference between economic water scarcity and physical water scarcity is that in case of economic water scarcity countries, there will be a problem with respect to availability of water, but paying money, a consumer can get the water. So that's called economic water scarcity. By paying money, they have to get the water. But whereas the physical water scarcity, even if you're ready to pay money, you will not have water physically. So that is going to be a major issue, and 2/3 of India is going to face that situation by 2025. If we continue to grow this way, and then if we continue to use water resources in the same way, then we'll have this kind of situation in future by 2025. So that's the importance of this slide, where water is becoming a more and more scarce resource, where we need to work on water, otherwise we'll have a huge issue with respect to availability of water for any application, including municipal or commercial or industrial applications. So considering these importance of environmental sustainability, CII at the highest level, the National Council of CII, in the year 2008, started an initiative called Mission on Sustainable Growth. So there, as part of this initiative, CII developed CII Code for Ecologically Sustainable Business Growth, which has 10 different parameters or 10 different commandments, where the CEO or the managing director of the company voluntarily signed this code, and then he commits to reduce their resource consumption intensity by 2 to 6% for next 10 years on 10 different areas. So that was the initiative launched by CII in the year 2008, and we had a good response for the first 3 years. More than 450 companies signed for this voluntary code. And then in the year 2010, based on the feedback received from the Mission on Sustainable Growth initiative members, CII initiated developing the rating program called Green Company Rating, basically to recognize companies who are doing excellent in terms of 10 different aspects of environmental sustainability. And this kind of rating program also will motivate more and more companies to pursue green initiatives. So with this twin objectives, CAI started developing the Green Company Rating Program in the year 2010. So we feel this rating program will be an excellent opportunity for companies. Basically, it will act as a catalyst for greening the industry, irrespective of the sectors. So this rating program is a sector-neutral rating program, where the guidelines are common for all the sectors. And then this will be helpful for companies to understand where they are right now, and then over a period of time, how to achieve excellence in different areas. So the way forward, the future activities will also be part of the overall assessment program under the rating system. So let me go into the details of the Green Company Rating Program, and what is the objectives, and then how the rating program was developed, and what is the methodology of going for this particular rating, and then benefits of the rating in the subsequent slides. So this is what I mentioned at the beginning. CAI Shirabji Godrej Green Business Center is working on different areas like energy, water, environment, green buildings, renewable energy, and climate change related activities. So this particular rating program is a voluntary rating program developed by industry for industry, again completely managed by the Green Business Center of CII. So it's a voluntary rating program from CII, which is managed by the Green Business Center of CII. So the overall rating is basically a framework to define and assess the performance of the company on 10 different areas, and also understand how green the company is. So that's the framework. And as part of this rating program, this will be helpful for companies to monitor and sustain their initiatives on green, and also it will give phase growth in terms of future activities. What best a company can do in terms of improving further and achieving excellence in different areas. So that's the overall framework of GreenCo rating. So this particular rating is applicable for both manufacturing sector and also the service industries. So the guidelines are developed such a way that it is common for both the sectors. But with respect to service sector, there are few changes made to suit the service industry, which I'll cover in my subsequent slides. The another important requirement of the ratings program is this particular rating is a unit or facility level rating. This rating is not a corporate level rating. It is a unit or facility level rating program. So particular unit or facility in your group can participate for the rating, and then they can go for assessment, and then finally based on the assessment they get the rating level. And considering the holistic approach and 10 different parameters for assessing the performance of the companies, and which is mainly useful in terms of understanding the greenness of the manufacturing and service sector, we feel it is first of its kind in the world. We have not seen a similar program with 10 different areas of assessment to be done for manufacturing and the service industry. So from that perspective, we feel it is one of the first of its kind in the world. And when we initially started developing the Green Company Rating Program, a steering committee was formed with the chairmanship of Mr. G.V. Prasad, who is the chairman and managing director of Dr. Reddy's Laboratory, and with the co-chairman of Mr. Pradeep Bhargava, who is the director of Cummins Generative Power Technologies. So with their leadership, we had involvement of about 120 industry experts from different sectors, manufacturing industry, service industry, and consultants. So they were part of this rating program for about 1 year, and then based on several meetings and breakout sessions and one-point discussions, the guidelines was developed for the entire rating program. So basically it gives transparency because they had extensive stakeholders consultation covering different industrial sectors, and then the actual people who are working on the industry. And again, finally, based on 1 year activities and several meetings, based on the consensus from the industry, the various criteria and guidelines are developed in terms of assessing the company on their green front. So this is the uniqueness of the rating program. This rating was developed by industry for industry. So because we have involvement of so many industry experts during the development stage. And coming to the approach, what is being adopted in terms of green company rating is there are several other standards which is already available from the environmental aspects like ISO 14000, which takes care of the systems, what the system the company should have. So the initial stage when the steering committee was formed, and then there was a lot of discussions, and then one of the major suggestions was like this rating system should be more of a performance driver rather than the systems. Of course, systems also give weightage. 30% of the points are given for the systems approach, where it includes the policy and the commitment from top management and the leadership and strategies, then involvement of people and partnership with other organizations in implementing various initiatives on the green areas, and then what are the monitoring systems being employed by companies to sustain the activities. So these three are called overall systems approach, where 300 points are awarded covering 10 different parameters. So 30% of the weightage is for the systems, and remaining 70% of the weightage, which is 700 points out of 1000, is for the actual action taken by the company or the results or impacts of the initiatives. So it is more of a performance-based rating than the systems-based approach. Of course, system is important, but higher weightage is given for the performance. For example, a company has to get a maximum point under water conservation. Out of 100 points, if they wanted to score the entire points, then it drives the companies to achieve water positive status. So that is the performance driver, which is included as part of the guidelines. So similarly, the company which has to get full points under energy efficiency, they have to have certain comparison and benchmark with respect to other competitors or other industries in the same sector at a national or international level. So that kind of performance drivers are included as part of the guidelines, which is going to be very useful for companies which are going to participate in this rating program. So these are the different levels of the rating program. We have 5 different levels based on total points of 1000. After the assessment of the company, if they get 350, then they get the minimum, the basic level of the rating, which is a certified level from 350 to 449 points. The next highest level is the bronze, which is between 450 to 549. So next higher level, silver, gold, and platinum. So the entire guidelines are given such a way that if a company is a gold rated company, then in most of the parameters they should be comparable. They should be one of the best companies at the national level. For example, on energy efficiency or waste management or greenhouse gas mitigation or other supply chain related activities. In most of the cases, if they are one of the best at the national level, then they are likely to get gold rating. And if a company is having a platinum rating, then definitely they should be comparable with any other best green company outside India also. So that's the world-class performance we are looking. So by design, the guidelines are provided such a way that a platinum rated company should be one of the best and comparable with any other best green company outside India. So that is how the guidelines are given. And for a company to participate in this rating program, the minimum requirement is that the company should meet all the environmental performance or the minimum mandatory requirements which is required to be met. For example, if there are any guidelines from Central Pollution Control Board or State Pollution Control Board or MOAF, so they should meet the minimum regulatory or mandatory requirements, and whatever their performance above that is given points, and then it is basically driving excellence beyond the regulatory requirements. So overall, if you see this particular rating is neither tough nor easy. In the sense, for a company which is good in terms of systems and then implementing at least 3 or 4 areas like energy efficiency, water, waste management, these kind of initiatives, then for the company it is easy to get a certified or bronze level. But really to get a silver, gold or a platinum level, then the company has to have a focused effort in implementing various initiatives in 10 different areas. Then only they can get silver or gold or a platinum rating. So from that perspective, it is tough, or it is not easy. So that is how the overall rating level, 5 different levels. And these are the 10 different parameters included for the assessment. So it starts with the energy efficiency parameter, which is having highest weightage, 150 points out of 1000. And then water conservation, renewable energy, greenhouse gas mitigation and reduction efforts, waste management, material conservation, green supply chain. These 6 parameters each is having a weightage of 100 points. Then the product stewardship initiative of the companies, then life cycle assessment of their products, and then the miscellaneous areas like site locations, innovations, ventilation, and green building portion of the overall factory. That is the 10th parameter, that is having 100 points. So the overall 1000 points are distributed among these 10 different parameters. And for a service company, if it is a hotel or IT or service sector, then right now life cycle assessment and product stewardship are not included as part of the assessment. So for a service sector company, there are only 8 parameters for assessment, except the product stewardship and life cycle assessment. All other parameters are applicable. And then overall, the points also redistributed within these 8 parameters, totaling to 800 points. And then finally, to arrive the rating level at the end of the assessment, based on the total points scored by a company out of 800, that is extrapolated to 1000 points, and then the rating level is arrived. So that is how it is done for the service sector. For more information about the actual guidelines and checklist for individual areas for both manufacturing and service sectors, you can log into our website, greenco.in, and then you have the updated reference guide, which is available freely. It can be downloadable, and you can get the maximum input and maximum guidelines from the updated reference guide, which is available in our website. So this is how the 10 different parameters are included for assessment, and how the 1000 points are distributed among these 10 parameters. We feel this particular rating program will be an excellent tool, and it will be a driver for excellence for many of the companies which are going to participate and implement this rating program. The first driver of excellence, what we feel, is going to be on world-class energy efficiency. For example, right now most of the companies are implementing energy efficiency measures, but right now the target set such a way that it is based on the past performance or internal performance. But when a company is going to go for the Green Company Rating Program, then they are forced to compare their performance with others, and then they will look for the benchmark data with respect to national and international level. Of course, people may ask, like, there are certain sectors benchmark data may not be available. But again, the assessment, the assessors, they always look in terms of even equipment-wise benchmarking or individual process-wise benchmarking, even though the overall performance of plant may not be comparable with their competitors or others. How a company is having benchmark with respect to individual equipment or individual processes, that will be looked into the details when overall the assessment is done with respect to benchmarking. But here the point is, like, when a company is going to go for GreenCo rating, then they will look for the benchmark, and then they will look for achieving national or international benchmark. So that is how the world-class energy efficiency will be promoted within the industry. And from the energy security point of view and climate mitigation point of view, renewable energy is going to be a major thrust area in future. It's already happening. So this rating will help companies to have a plan to improve their renewable energy sources in their overall energy mix. Like it is, I mean, influencing companies or influencing the top management to invest on renewable energy over a period of time, like how they can improve their energy mix of renewable energy sources from 5% to 10% or 15% or even higher percentages. So accordingly, they get a higher weightage. And this also drives excellence in terms of companies to monitor their performance in terms of GHG inventory, and then how far they are with respect to carbon neutrality status. See, there are certain sectors carbon neutral status may be possible, but this particular rating is going to help the companies irrespective of the sector, like how close to the carbon neutral status, and wherever it is applicable or possible, I mean, people may also look for achieving the carbon neutrality and improve their operations and reduce their greenhouse gas emissions or offset their greenhouse gas emissions and achieve carbon neutrality. And then, as I said in my earlier slide, this rating is driving excellence in terms of companies to look for achieving water positive status. And water positive is nothing but like what is the overall consumption of water for the entire year, and then how our initiatives with respect to both within the fence and beyond the fence activities like water harvesting and water storage structures is going to help in terms of recharging or conserving more, I mean capturing more water than the water which is consumed by the operation. So then we become water positive status. So this particular rating is going to help us to set target and achieve water positive status by companies over a period of time. So that is the driver of excellence we feel. Then many companies now from the waste management point of view are looking, are setting a target how their company can become a zero waste to landfill company. So today there are a lot of waste which is generated which is going to the landfill, both it can be a hazardous or non-hazardous waste. But today companies are setting a target like how they can become zero waste to landfill company. And here people are looking for 3R principles like reduce, reuse or recycle the waste, or even looking recycling the waste or reusing the waste of one sector can be a raw material for other sectors. The best example is like the hazardous waste which is generated from many of the engineering industry or automobile industry like paint, sludge, which is used as a fuel in a cement plant. So by this huge amount of waste which is otherwise incinerated in a waste site is now being utilized in the cement plant. So that is how companies now looking for long-term target of achieving zero waste to landfill. So we feel this rating program is going to help companies to achieve this status. And due weightage is given with respect to material conservation, recycling and recyclability. So this particular aspect will provide companies to look for how to improve our yield percentages or how to improve our design so that the raw material used for manufacturing the product itself is reduced. Of course, this can be different for different sectors, but the ultimate aim is to, with minimum raw material or consumables, how can we deliver the same product or much better product. So that is going to be the driver from GreenCo rating with respect to the raw material conservation. And many of the proactive companies, they are very good in their own operations. So they implement several initiatives in the resource conservation and the pollution reduction aspects. But most of the sectors, the supply chain is really big. There are hundreds and hundreds of suppliers in the entire value chain. So this particular rating is focusing on the green supply chain, where the companies are forced to work with their suppliers and vendors and improving their green performance so that over a period of time the entire supply chain becomes green. It's not only the main parent organization which is involved in the green company rating. So it is the entire supply chain is going to be green. So that's the focus, or that's the driver from this GreenCo rating program. And another driver of excellence, what we feel is that the companies can look beyond manufacturing, beyond selling their product, their product stewardship initiatives. For example, once the product is manufactured and sold to the consumer, so as a responsible manufacturer, how am I contributing towards a better usage of the product at the customer end, or how the product can be disposed in a more environment friendly way, and what are the initiatives taken by the company as a manufacturer in terms of these product stewardship initiatives in waste management related activities at the end of their life. These are going to be the major focus or trust area under product stewardship in GreenCo rating. So these are some of the new areas where the Indian companies will now look for newer opportunities, and overall they will improve their environmental performance. So there are a few examples we would like to quote here. Many of you, of course, aware about the ITC sustainability initiatives. ITC as a corporate, they have been implementing several sustainability initiatives in a big way, and then this company has achieved the carbon positive status for the last 7 years in a row. That's mainly because of the carbon sequestration from their huge forestry projects of more than 2 lakh hectares of land, which is also helpful for them to get sustainable raw material for manufacturing the paper. And then they are also a water positive company for the last 9 years in a row. So this is again being done through there are several initiatives on the beyond the fence, like construction of the check dams, rainwater harvesting structures, and then desilting of water tanks, and working with NGOs and rural society. They have achieved this status. And they are also solid waste recycling positive for the past 4 years. That means whatever the waste they have generated, and if you see inventories and then see the quantity of waste generated, and then the quantity of waste they have reused or recycled is much more than the waste they generated. So from that point of view, they are solid waste positive for the last 4 years. And of course, they are also the world-class performance with respect to EHS, and then they have sound business model based on the triple bottom line approach of the overall sustainability. So this is the example from ITC at a corporate level, how they have been pursuing this sustainability in different areas, corporate, overall ITC as a group. And there is another example from Godrej and Boyce group. Here, after the Mission on Sustainable Growth Initiative of CII, when Mr. Jamshed Godrej became the chairman of this initiative, and then Godrej has taken several initiatives in terms of environmental sustainability, and this is the this is called Godrej Good and Green Vision by 2020. Godrej wants to achieve the following objectives by end of 2020, like training 1 million rural and urban youths who can be employable in industries. That is from the social aspect. But from the green aspect, they have creating greener India by achieving carbon neutral status, zero waste to landfill status, water positive status, and energy efficient business by 2020. And by 2020, they have set a target like 30% of their overall group energy mix will be from renewable energy sources. And then from the product point of view, they have a clear target, like they want to reduce the overall material consumption and eliminating toxicity completely by 2020. And then they are looking for 100% recycled or recyclable product, so that the impact on the environment is minimum by using those products. So this is called Good and Green Vision of CII. Godrej through CII, they have set this particular target. And this is an example from a public sector company. So there are several public sector companies, they have taken this as a major business opportunity. They have included sustainability as part of their business strategy. So this is from ONGC. So they have set a carbon neutral target by 2020 from their own operations. This is excluding the indirect emission from burning their fuel, but it is only from their own operations, whatever the emissions. So they wanted to achieve carbon neutral status by 2020. And then they have been implementing several initiatives like methane recovery and reducing the methane emission to the atmosphere. And all their new buildings are IGBC green building rated 1, which reduces the energy consumption, water consumption, and other promoting the green building products. And they have already installed a 150 megawatt wind farm both in Rajasthan and Gujarat, which is helping them to achieve carbon neutral status. Of course, they have a lot to do, but they are trying to achieve the carbon neutral status through the sequestration of, through renewable energy sources and offsetting the overall greenhouse gas emissions. So this is an example from ONGC. And coming to the benefits of green company rating, so it is going to give benefit in terms of 3 different layers, like top management and then operational team and the individual employees. So from the top management point of view, it is going to provide a framework for the organization-wide goal setting and monitoring. In the sense, suppose you have multiple units, so at a top management level, this GreenCo rating is going to help in terms of setting target on 10 different areas, which is holistic in nature, covering all environmental sustainability aspects. So that is going to be the benefit for top management. And once there are multiple units, then this will also be an excellent tool for comparing the performance of individual facilities. For example, ACC, there are 17 manufacturing facilities already. 1 unit achieved a silver rating. Another 2 units are working on the rating program, but now they are going to implement this tool across all their units. And then this is going to be an excellent tool for top management to compare different facilities. For example, in certain areas, unit X may be good in few areas, but they have to improve further in other areas. So this kind of information is going to be useful in planning the activities for different units, so that over a period of time all the units are achieving towards gold or platinum rating. The third benefit what we are looking from the top management point of view is like it is going to be a platform for bringing the different departments working together. For example, if you have energy efficiency or other few areas, only one particular department is going to work on that area. But there are here 10 different parameters like product stewardship, which includes involvement of marketing team, which includes involvement of product development or R&D team. Similarly, supply chain includes the procurement team or the sourcing team. So it is a very good platform where all the departments work together with a common objective of improving their overall environmental sustainability. So that's what the benefit we have heard from some of the units which has already gone for the rating program. And of course, the other benefit of the top management is it is going to be a new driver, new concepts. For example, the product stewardship initiatives or life cycle assessment of products, working on the suppliers and vendors on the supply chain program, green supply chain program. These are all going to be a new concepts which will be implemented by the company, so which is going to help the overall company. And of course, when a company gets silver or a gold or platinum, so that's going to improve their green image. That's the benefit at the top management level. And of course, apart from these things, we also feel that this particular rating is going to give other benefits. For example, there are 8 energy intensive sectors where perform achieve trade mechanism is mandatory for about 490 companies all over India. And this particular program is going to be extended for other sectors in the next cycle, which is going to be from April 2015. So from that perspective, if a company is going to implement GreenCo rating, they'll be in a better position to meet those future regulations. Either it may be on energy efficiency or strict emission norms or water consumption norms. Similarly, the waste disposal. So this particular program is going to help companies to meet or achieve easily the future regulations, which is going to be there with respect to different areas like air emissions or solid waste or energy efficiency or water consumption. So that's the major benefit they are looking by implementing the GreenCo rating the company will get. Of course, the product stewardship initiatives like reducing toxicity in the product, or product take-back program like electronics through the e-waste management tool, and then end-of-life vehicle management for automobiles. So these are the activities, even meeting the ROHS compliance. So these are the things the company will be in a better position to meet if it starts implementing GreenCo rating from today. From the operational team point of view, it is going to give benefit in terms of reducing the cost, because any resource conservation is going to improve their bottom line. So from that perspective, it's going to reduce the operational cost, increase efficiency, improve monitoring system, and of course overall improved competitiveness when we are implementing the GreenCo and have a focused effort in 10 different areas. From the employee's point of view, based on our experience in the past GreenCo rated companies, we feel these are going to be the benefit. Like it is going to provide a challenging targets for the individuals. So basically, it will improve their performance. So that's the advantage from the employee point of view. And once a company implements GreenCo rating, then involve different departments and more people, then it is also giving a morale boost or satisfaction for individual employees. That's another benefit we can derive, we can clearly see wherever the GreenCo rating is implemented. And of course, it is going to drive innovation. For example, if company has to achieve a world-class status in certain parameters, and then it is going to give some, extra target or extra, it requires extra effort, which will drive innovation within the company, and which is also going to benefit the individuals. So this is what we feel the benefit for the employees. As on date, we have more than 70 companies working on this particular rating program, 35 registered. Out of 35 registered companies, we have 13 companies completed the entire process in the last 1.5 years. Out of 13 units, 7 companies achieved a gold rating. So that shows that most of the proactive good companies, they have gone for this rating. And 5 companies, they got silver rating, and 1 got the bronze level. So this is the status of the Green Company Rating program as on date. As I said, more than 35 companies actually registered, and then 70 companies are working, and 13 achieved the status. So these 13 companies received the awards from the former president, Dr. Abdul Kalam, during the GreenCo Summit held in Pune last July. And this is the opportunity for the companies which are participating in the GreenCo program, and then they will be recognized at the highest level in a public meeting organized by CII. And let me come to the overall process of the entire Green Company Rating program. This rating, we have a website called greenco.in. So you can get a lot of information from this website. And whichever company is interested in going for the rating, first they have to register through this website. So once the registration is done, then the CII team, 2 or 3 member team from CII will visit the plant or the facility, and then they have 2 to 3 days of interactions, mainly covering the training program and Green Company Rating, basically to create awareness among the employees of the company, and also clearly discuss the intent behind the individual requirements, individual criteria, and what are the requirements to fulfill or get maximum points. And some of the case studies in different areas will be discussed as part of the advanced training program by CII team once the company registers for the rating program. So after the training program, then the company collects information on different parameters as per the requirement of the rating, and then within a month or 2 months of time period, the company submit the document. And once the company submit the document, then CII verifies the data and then do the preliminary assessment. And then CII parallelly also identifies individual assessors for the site visit. So as part of the entire program, we have a 2-day site visit, and this site visit is being carried out by a team from CII and also the individual assessors who are already accredited by CII, who are all mainly the retired professionals or consultants who have vast experience in this particular area. So once this assessment team completes the assessment, then as part of the site visit, they submit the report, the judges panel report to the panel, and then finally they arrive the rating level. And then in the entire process, it is more of assessment. It is not like auditing. There will be a lot of interaction between the assessors and the individual teams. And in the process, the assessors team will also identify improvement opportunities. For example, in a particular credit, out of 10 points, they're eligible only for 5 points based on the present performance, then how to get the additional 5 points? So that improvement opportunity will be included as part of the feedback report. So that is going to be excellent benefit for the company. Based on the feedback report, they can improve their performance further, and then they can improve their systems further, and then overall over a period of time they can improve their rating level from one level to another level. In the process, they get money saving. In the process, they get resources, improved resources efficiency. In the process, they get better system, which is employed within the company. So this is the overall process of the entire assessment of GreenCo rating. Just to give an example, this is one of the first companies rated by CIA team, and they got silver rating, and the facility has already taken several initiatives, and after the rating, they wanted to achieve gold level. So they started implementing several initiatives in different areas. So that is how they started implementing. So just in the 3 areas like energy efficiency, waste management, and water, they put a lot of efforts because the potential was good with respect to these 3 areas. So at the end of 1 year, then there was a sustenance visit by one of the assessors. They were able to clearly understand and estimate 80 lakhs of savings per annum, which is after the GreenCo rating and before, I mean within 1 year of time period. And then similarly on the water conservation front, they have done a lot of work with respect to rainwater harvesting, and then they started using that in offsetting the fresh water. And then they had a lot of programs for nearby community in terms of implementing rainwater harvesting beyond the fence initiatives, which has improved the relationship with the community and less risk in terms of the social aspects. So here monetary saving almost they have got 140 lakhs per year through this initiative. And similarly for the waste management point of view, they had a structured system of recycling and reusing and the waste which is generated from their facility, and the monetary saving was about 160 lakhs they have achieved through various waste management initiatives. Friends, to sum up, GreenCo rating is an excellent tool for facilities. They can know how green their facility or their plant is, and also it is going to help the company in terms of future roadmap, how they can improve their performance in different areas. So we feel this is going to give substantial benefits for the companies, and it is going to give green image and improve competitiveness and more employee involvement. And lastly, this rating is going to be helpful in terms of meeting the future regulations by the company. Either it can be on greenhouse gas guidelines or water consumption or energy efficiency or other toxicity point of view. It will be an excellent tool for meeting the future regulations. So with this, I would like to conclude my presentation here. And then now, I mean, this is my contact details. You have my telephone and also the website and the email ID. So for any queries related to green company rating or other environmental sustainability or other case studies, please feel free to contact us, and then we'll be able to reply to your emails and respond to your email. But right now, it is open for questions. People can start asking questions. Of course, I think as a speaker, I can able to see the questions, but I'll read out the question and then I'll try to answer